Hello, my name is Janet Johnson, and I am your current president of the National Military Fish and Wildlife Association. I'd like to welcome you today to the 2021 Annual Members Meeting. This is part one of two parts for our normal annual meeting. Part one of the annual NMFWA Members Business Meeting will be a series of 3 pre-recorded presentations that will provide you with a look back at what your 2020-2021 Board of Directors, your committee chairs, and your working groups have accomplished over the past year. For new members, this really gives you an excellent overview of what NMFWA is about and how you can get involved. Part 2 of the meeting will be a live presentation, which will provide an opportunity for you to meet your newly elected 2021-2022 Board of Directors, get a few of the highlights of the year in review, as well as our vision for the upcoming year. And in lieu of our annual awards banquet this year, we'll be showing a very brief awards presentation to celebrate this year's NMFWA award winners. But most importantly, our annual live portion of the meeting is here to provide an open floor forum for you, the association, to ask questions of us, your board. The live session will have a chat room open for members to type in their questions, and these questions can be typed ahead of time. And it'll also have a raised hand function during the meeting so that you can voice your questions and when the moderator calls on you. So we have several ways, and we will be prompting you for questions and input. This is your meeting. We want to make sure that it's interesting and viable and meets the needs of the members as we're here for you and we're doing your association business. So we hope you enjoy learning more about what your association has been up to over the past year and to join us live for the part 2 portion of the meeting, which will be on Tuesday, March 9th at 3:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. So to begin, the first part of the 3 different presentations in the pre-recorded series, I wanted to introduce to you the 2020-2021 NMFWA Board of Directors who have been working this past year tirelessly to shift gears from our in-person workshop to the virtual workshop. It has been quite the learning experience, and I can't tell you how incredibly thankful I am to have this amazing board behind me. And if you have a chance, please thank them yourselves during the meeting. I want to introduce to you with a face so that you know who they are and can get familiar with them. So if their name pops up during the virtual meeting, don't hesitate to contact them and ask questions. So your current board members in 2020 and 2021, the officers include your immediate past president, Nicole Olmstead, myself, Janet Johnson, Vice President Michael Wright, your treasurer, Russ Lawrence, and Secretary Bill Berry. We also have many at-large and regional directors on the board. Our directors at large include Zoe Duran and Robbie Smith. Zoe is out of Idaho with the Army National Guard, and Robbie is with the Navy out of Florida. In your Eastern region, we have directors Alan Schultz, who is with the Army out of North Carolina. And our other Eastern director is Dan Savercool, who is with private sector out of Florida. In your Central region, we have Michelle Richards, with the Michigan Army National Guard, and Tim Buchanan out of Texas with the Army. In our Western region, we have Roland Sosa with Marine Corps and Bob Shulman with the Navy, who are both out of California. Now that you have names and faces put together, if you do have contact or see or run into virtually at the meeting this next week, please reach out to them and thank them for their tireless efforts. And if you have questions, please feel free to contact any one of us, set a side meeting, or even contact us through our NMFWA webpage at nmfwa.org. We're always ready to take your questions and answer anything we can, help you out. And if you're interested in the board and getting more connected, please let us know. We're always here for you. And please take time to thank them all. It really has made a huge difference. We would have never been able to pull this entire workshop off without the efforts of not just the directors, but all of our committee chairs and members that you'll be hearing from in their reports, and the working groups who have been working all year with their members. So the board meets monthly in a teleconference, and we are working tirelessly every month to work through association business. So here are some of the motions that have passed over the past year. We appointed Zoe Duran as Director at Large when that position was left vacant by the election of Michael Wright to the Vice President's position. That had Mike's Director at Large position had 1 year left on the term, and so this year, coming up, Zoe's position was up for re-election. We also extended the contract with our NMFWA webmaster, Brian Hall, for an additional 2 years, accepted a proposal and petition to create a new technological research applications working group that was brought to us at the second or our first board meeting for 2020 in Omaha. Samantha Tobridge brought that to the attention of the board, was able to pull together a proposal and the names on the petition. We also approved to expend funds for tax preparations on our 2019 tax returns and to set up a 501c3 for the association. The new TRA working group did present the board with their charter. The first motion for that failed due to the need for revisions to the charter. And the second motion for the approval of the charter is tabled until there can be some minor revisions completed. But that group, we're very excited to have that new working group, and it's getting off the ground. You will hear from them later. And they are looking for new members, so please check them out during the week. We also approved the draft budget for this 2021 annual meeting and training workshop, and approved the slate for the nominations for the upcoming elected positions for the 2021-2022 Board of Directors. And before we get into the officer reports, I'd like to make sure that everyone's aware that at the end of this week-long workshop, folks will be receiving, as they have in the past, a training workshop certificate for the hours put in. So if you are a full week registrant, you'll have 34 hours of continuous learning. And then if you were able to get into a Monday or Friday training course, you'll have an additional certificate of completion that will be sent to you separately for the hours put in during that training course. For those who signed up for a single day, you too will also get a certificate of completion for that day. These will be emailed to you shortly after the conference. And if you have any questions or concerns or issues in receiving it, please let us know. And now I would like to move into our officer reports. Our first report will be coming from your Vice President and 2021 Workshop Coordinator, Michael Wright.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Wright. It has been quite the learning experience to coordinate the first National Military Fish and Wildlife Association virtual meeting and training workshop. I must say, it has been my pleasure. We hope everyone is finding the system easy to navigate and the content to be relevant and useful. We owe a big round of applause and thanks to the many individuals that have worked to ensure we were able to meet this year, many of whom volunteered considerable amounts of their time. Let's get started with some tips and tricks. Do you have questions about how to utilize this platform? Do you have questions about NMFWA? Well, please visit us at our virtual meeting help desk. We will have members from the Board of Directors or NMFWA past presidents there to assist you. DoD personnel utilizing government computers. You may notice latency issues, buffering issues of videos, and excessive download times of files from this platform. This is not a platform issue. This is a DoD network issue. Some tips and tricks for how to resolve these issues. We highly recommend that you telework while attending this training. This will allow you to be able to access internet on your government computer, either on or off of the network. We have found most problems have been resolved by not VPN connecting to your network. As long as you have internet connectivity, you should be able to meet everything you need on this training workshop. If you continue to have latency issues or have frequently dropped internet connections, we have also found that instead of using Wi-Fi, that you connect an Internet Cat5 cable line directly to your computer. Most latency issues and drop issues are resolved by utilizing this method. You may also experience problems if you are using Safari, Firefox, or Internet Explorer. These are not recommended for use. Please utilize Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge are the internet browsing platforms for this virtual workshop. For full functionality on the platform, be sure to have a video camera and a mic. However, if you don't have these features, don't sweat it. You will be able to participate. You can hear all the live content, see all the videos, and you can even chat in the chat box. So don't worry if you don't have a video or a mic. If you are attending a Friday training course, it is highly recommended that those course students have access to the Zoom application. The application is free to download. However, you will not be able to download it to your government computer. If you do not have access, do not fret. The instructors have a plan. When in doubt, you can also utilize your personal equipment that is authorized to do during this training event. One of the neat features that you have available to you in this platform is you can create a customizable schedule. So you can build your own schedule, make it what you want, see what you want to see. You have a wide array of content available to you. You can attend the North American meetings and content, and you can attend the NMFWA meetings and content, and that goes vice versa. So please utilize that customizable schedule to help you organize what you want to view for your week. Let's all be kind, respectful, and courteous during this virtual event. I'm sure there's going to be some frustrations out there, but please do not take it out on your presenters and moderators or the event staff. Please just provide us your input and we will try to resolve any issues you have. While attending a live session, please mute your audio and video when you are not the active speaker. Also, please do not be offended if session moderators have to end a discussion. They do need to keep moving. We only have a limited amount of time, and if the moderators do not cut sessions off, then the system will, and it will not be fair for the next group of people who have to go in their meeting time. Each session has chat functions, poll functions, file downloading functions, and also provides you with a meeting attendee roster. The big take home here is you need to view your pre-recorded content. Review pre-recorded content before attending live meetings. This will greatly enhance our coordination with one another and your experience. Please note that when you review a presentation in advance, you have the option to submit your questions up to 2 days in advance of a live session. So, please think about what you reviewed, and if you have any questions, at that time, submit them. That way, your presenters will see your questions in advance and address them during the live question and answer panel discussions. We hope to never have to do a virtual meeting again, but that may not be the way of the world. We may see this again in the future, so please, everyone, take the opportunity to provide feedback on each of the sessions and how the system works. There should be evaluations available for you to upload your feedback. If for some reason you cannot get the evaluation functions to work for you, you can always contact us through the NMFWA website. Are you concerned about hallway discussions and not being able to have them? Well, we thought of you. Please utilize a schedule a meeting function. This works pretty much like a hallway discussion. You have the opportunity to pull yourself and invite other attendees into your own personal Zoom meeting for an applicable scheduled time. So you can actually schedule your own meeting and invite the participants you want to attend that meeting, and the system will automatically create a Zoom meeting for you. With this said, all participants will need to have the Zoom app to participate in the meeting. You also have the option to request a phone call or an email option from other meeting participants. So, still concerned about not having any social time with other event attendees? Well, after the meeting today, we would also like to invite you to our members social, where we will have a fun time listening to answers to trivia questions. Don't just listen though. Participate and get to know who else is on that line. Please take time to go to the awards poster gallery. You will learn a little bit later about who has won the NMFWA Awards this year. If you don't feel like you learned enough by listening to the awards presentation, then please go by the poster gallery for the awards. Also, we have a separate poster session gallery. This is that poster session we normally see during our show and tell. This is your place to go view those posters. Please visit us on Thursday to learn more about poster sessions where you can actually blog live with the poster presenters. Don't forget about those vendors and sponsors that have helped us out during this virtual event. Please go visit them. Learn more about their equipment and supplies and options. So, this was our first year to have an art contest. You will notice throughout our website that you will see some beautiful drawings. These drawings were drawings that were submitted during the art contest. The winner of the art contest is on our main page and also on our t-shirts. Speaking of t-shirts, please don't forget to order your shirt. You have this week, the event week, to order your shirts. Once the 12th has come and gone, you will not be able to order a shirt because we're going into print and shipping. Vote, vote, vote. Please go to the photo contest page. This photo gallery has a wide array of photos, and the top photo in each category gets a prize, so please don't forget to vote. Voting will end on Thursday, and the winners will be posted on Friday. And last but not least, if you have not signed up to be a member for NMFWA, it is free. Please go to our NMFWA.org website. to sign up. I hope everyone enjoys this week. Please provide us your feedback and have fun. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Michael. That was a lot of really good information and a lot of good housekeeping items. So the take home and highlights out of that, please visit the NMFWA help desk for questions and view the online tutorials to learn how to get the most out of your week of pre-records as well as your week as live materials. Please listen to those pre-record sessions before participating in the live sessions, as they are not going to be repeated during the live sessions. Those live sessions are meant to trigger questions and answers and a panel discussion. So please be prepared as you go into those sessions. Check out our virtual events. We have the posters, awards, exhibitor halls for where our sponsors are at, the photo contest, and a live trivia event to find out ways to connect more this week. And then connecting with members for those hallway discussions. You can do that by scheduling a private meeting. And now for the Treasurer's Report.
Hi, this is the Treasurer's Report for 2020. I'm Russ Lawrence and I am the Treasurer. I'm going to talk about a lot of different things here on 4 different slides. The first is the account balances as of the end of the year of 2020. We have a checking account that had $20,930 in it. Our savings account, $130,851, and a scholarship fund of $8,877. We received a check in February of 2020 from WMI, proceeds from the workshop for $92,877.50. And that's much later than we usually receive that payment. We usually receive it in the same year. So we actually received 2 payments for WMI in 2020. An exciting and important thing that happened is also we obtained a 501c3 status officially, which means donations may qualify as a charitable deduction for federal income tax purposes. That means individuals that have donated money directly to the scholarship fund or to NMFWA in general may qualify for a tax deduction depending on how they file. It also means those individuals that donate items for the silent auction may also qualify for a deduction. Our 2020 revenue sources included the workshop registration, which is split with WMI, which I'll explain in a minute, our show and tell and silent auction, and 100% of those proceeds go towards the scholarship fund. Scholarship donations in general, not associated with the silent auction. Sponsorships, and we sure appreciate our sponsors. They help offset the cost of the workshop. And then a little bit in bank account interest. Our expenditure categories, obviously the big one is the workshop down at the bottom there. But we also have website maintenance and domain renewal. The scholarships that we award out with our scholarship committee. Shipping, which includes shipping items from one meeting location to the next. And tax services, and this year was in 2020, a 501c3 application, which we won't incur again on that. As far as the 2020 workshop expenses, they include training, newcomers event, welcome mixer, shipping and printing, meeting audio visual, show and tell, photo and other contests, promotional items and t-shirts, gifts, awards, the award banquet, and transportation. And then also there's a few tips for the transportation and so forth. So it's important to note just from these little bullets here that there's actually quite a bit of expense on many of these. You think about a banquet, for example, and we have a venue that we have to pay for, obviously the transportation with that, the AV, the food. There's so much that goes into a lot of these, actually all of them. So those individuals that are working on each one of these go through a lot of work in making sure that you have a good meeting. And so the registration cost that we mentioned before that is split, the registration cost for 2020 was $450. NMFWA receives technically $225 and WMI receives $225, but it kind of depends on, if a person registers for an individual day and comp passes, or not passes, but registrations that are given to sponsors in certain categories and so forth, and how it all balances out. But people are wonder what WMI does, and they actually do a lot in preparing for the next meeting, as far as getting a future location, site visits, there's contracts, they have the online registration that they do, and marketing, communication, and so much more there that you can see. And the agreement we have with WMI is great, and we it's money well spent. Also, it's important to note that these big hotel properties that WMI works with typically do not offer per diem rates for government employees. And so in order to get those things that WMI would usually get free, they end up paying for. And that's absorbed in some of that cost too that WMI has, and some of the fees that they keep. We received for the 2020 meeting $86,455 from WMI that we now can use for our next meeting. Actually, for our next meeting in 2022, because we're virtual this year. Sponsorship. We also last year received $15,500 from our sponsors, and again, we're very grateful for those sponsors, and they do help offset our costs. So our NMFWA costs for the 2020 workshop came to a total of $74,481.59, and Janet did a wonderful job in keeping costs down. It also helped that we were in Omaha, as many of our cities that we go to are much more expensive than Omaha, so we were able to save quite a bit on that. It could have been easily another $20,000 for this meeting had it been in another city. We pay all of that in advance of receiving any proceeds, if you will, from the workshop. So that's why we have a bank account that covers those costs. Last year's attendance was down slightly from 2019. We had record attendance in 2019, and you can see there we had 418, and COVID was just starting to have an impact on travel, and we did have some cancellations, and other people just couldn't go because there was already starting to be some travel restrictions put in place.
So thank you, Russ, for that treasurer's update and report. So what's next? As I mentioned in the pre-record, this first part of the pre-records is split into 3 different sections. What's next is a board committee reports. Please click on the next presentation to hear more about our special committees. These would include things such as the awards committee, the scholarship committee, the FAWN, the newsletter, the FAWN newsletter and the website. These are the committees that do a lot of the brunt of the work that goes into the association and the back end. So they will be giving you reports on what they've been up to over the last year. And again, for newcomers, it's a great way to understand what we do here at NMFWA. And don't forget, please join us for the live portion of the 2021 members meeting on Tuesday, March 9th at 3:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. We hope to see you there.